Peter Dutton is yet to speak publicly following the Liberal Party's defeat in the Dunkley by-election. Labor managed to retain the Victorian seat despite a 3.6% swing to the Liberals. The ALP's newest MP, Jodie Bellier, replacing the late Peter Murphy. Anthony Albanese claims the Liberals lost because they ran a negative campaign and are dominated by blokes. 10 News First political editor Ashleigh has been following the campaign, is with us now. Ashleigh, after a by-election, every time, both sides claim a positive result, a win, and it was a devastating blow for the other side. In this case, who's right?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a joke, really. The amount of spinning that has been happening from Labor and Liberals in the lead up to the by-election and post the result has been quite incredible. But you see, it's almost inevitable after these by-elections. Internally, they're soul-searching, but publicly, there's this need to control the narrative because there's always fallout and they don't want that narrative to get away on them, especially for the leaders of the parties.
So would you draw anything from this that you think is relevant for the federal election next year?
Yes, I think so. But firstly, I think it's important to point out a couple of things. In a by-election, it's not that reflective of what would happen in a federal election. With swings, they tend to be bigger than what you'd see at a federal election. Also in this by-election, the minor parties didn't have a big showing. There wasn't One Nation, there wasn't the United Australia Party, and the Greens didn't give a big showing either. Their vote really decreased. For the Liberals, we know that Peter Dutton has a strategy of targeting outer suburban seats. And there was a feeling going into this, if he couldn't achieve, or if the Liberals couldn't achieve a big swing in a cost of living crisis in a seat like this, then it is a problem. And already there's a bit of chatter around the backbenches that why wasn't the swing bigger? In terms of Labor, Labor is acutely aware that there was a swing against it and they need to understand that. But they will be looking, we've got a budget coming up, and looking to see what Labor can do more to really get across the line and connect with voters.
All right, Ashleigh, let's get to the main political story of the day. You're at the ASEAN Summit where the PM, this is outrageous, has put a ban on shoeies. I don't know what's going on. Do you think this will help or hurt his popularity?
Well, look, I think he's playing to the world stage and we don't need to show everybody how bogan Australians are. I know that others are doing it, but Anthony Albanese likes to keep things dignified on the world stage, and probably around when he meets the leaders, they're going on a retreat on Wednesday. If he did a shoey at the table, I'm not sure how that would boost his credibility.
Yeah, but I'd note that he waited till after the Dunkley by-election to announce this.
Yeah, he did.
I think that's telling. I think it's very telling.
That's what you got to play to your people.
Yeah.
He's a South Sydney supporter. Come on,
Yeah,
shoeies are in his blood.
He's drunk from a shoe before, surely.
All right, now that we've defended this great cultural institution, we'll let you go, Ashleigh. Thank you very much for your time.
Happy to help.
What do you reckon? Was this a slam Dunkley for the PM and Labor?
The coalition's turned a safe Labor seat into a marginal seat, so that is a win for the coalition. I mean, a 3.6% swing, so that seat now is in play come the election. I think one of the interesting things about this is that the turnout was really low. It was around about 80%, just above, and so it was 90% at the last election, so people haven't bothered to go and vote. I think the Green vote illustrates that. It looks like they've had a collapse, but it's just they haven't turned up. I think she made a really good point there about the fact that the Greens, Clive Palmer and One Nation weren't there, so those votes, One Nation and Palmer, probably went to the coalition. So
yeah, but I reckon everything you've said amounts to it not actually being a problem for the government, because 3.6%, that's a pretty normal swing, right? And if it's true that the Greens voters, the younger voters, didn't turn up, by the way, they're going to cop a fine, which I don't know if they'll be welcome. But anyway, those votes probably would have flowed through to Labor anyway, which probably then corrects for the swing. And you can say it's now marginal, but like by-elections are so weird.
the overarching point I'd make is Peter Dutton and the coalition are not going to win the federal election in Victoria.
But
they are going to win the federal election in Queensland, New South Wales and WA.
I hear your point, but
Victoria is a Labor state.
I'm not sure I'm fully on board with that argument, only because
it's had 10 years of Labor governments here.
Yeah, but that's the kind of seat that they should be aiming at winning. Like, I get your point about Victoria. They're not going to win the whole state, but they might win a seat like that. That's actually what they are.
They only hold 2 seats in Metro Melbourne.
Yeah, so, but if the whole point is to pivot to the suburbs, that's how you get more.
I think Nathan Conroy ran a good campaign. They've now introduced him to the electorate, so maybe election time they might vote for him.
Are you ready to call the election, Pricey? The federal election?
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, all right. I thought we might have got a